This is for all the hate. Because everybody's been coming for me because I touch my hair too much. Sorry. But anyway, hey guys, it's Kyler and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a pretty crazy story time for you. It's about the time I got assaulted by a pregnant woman. And I'm sure you saw that in the title of this video because that's the story. But it's just, this shit is one of those moments where I was really just challenged ethically and I really had to sit there and make a decision to be the person that I was in this story. That's just how I'm gonna preface the story. But before I get into that, please click to subscribe. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get these videos up like every day. I've been posting them every day. So subscribe to my channel, join my little fam here. I'm coming up with a name and I think I have one, but I'm not gonna release that yet because I wanna make sure that I think that that's the right name. But join the fam, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Snapchat, follow me on Twitter. It's all down below. I have literally put it there. If you want me to put the link there, I'll put the link there for you and it will take you there. Because that's really where all the magic happens. Like, that's where you see my man-ass face turn into a woman. Like, that's where you see me shine, is on Instagram. Like, here, this is like the real, like, we're talking, I'm telling you some shit, we're getting to know each other. And then on Instagram is like, I'm out here. Like, I'm out here in the street. Like, I'm not at home. Right now, I'm at home. I'm in my safe place. I can look like a bum-ass, scallywag-ass, man-ass bitch right here in my house. But when I leave, when I'm in public, I don't look as much like garbage as I do in these videos. So, please follow me. Not to, like, completely tangent away from the story, but... There I go, touching my hair again. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna try to not touch my hair at all in this video. Starting now. If I do touch my hair in this video, comment down below how many times I touch my hair in this video. Okay, anyway, so into the story. So I was talking to this guy. This had to be my sophomore or freshman year of college. And I had been talking to this guy, and he's, like, in the army and shit. So I feel extra special because he's, like, in the army. And he's protecting our country. Like, I'm with a patriot right now. I'm with a veteran right now. Like, I'm talking to someone who is out here saving our world. You know, like, this boy is out here really, like, dedicating his life to the cause. Like, he is here for the culture. Like, he's doing it, right? So I'm talking to him. And he has, like, the biggest dick. He has the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man. Like, I was like, well, he said it to me, and I couldn't help but just be like, wow. Like, I wanted to send his parents a letter congratulating them for making this specimen of a boy that wanted to talk to me, right? But this is my problem with him. Because, of course, accidentally I fell in love with him. And, you know, I was all about him when we were talking. And, like, I want to preface what I'm about to say by saying this. Like, God doesn't give you the perfect thing. Like, he always gives you something that's good, but you gotta work on it. So, like, this boy was so, like, fine and, like, funny, and, you know, he's in the army and shit, and he's at home, obviously, because, like, we're, like, freshmen in college. He's at community college. You know, so he doesn't have a car. All right, listen, I'm not saying that he needs to have a car. Like, I don't think that it's a problem that he doesn't have a car. But I think that the problem was that he was just content with not having a car. Like, him not having a car fully did not stop him from, like, you know, living his life. And I was like, my dumb ass then was like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like, you don't need a car. Like, I have a car. Like, I was such a fucking people-pleasing ass bitch. It kind of still am, but, like, he's just like, oh yeah, like I can't drive to you. This is the story now. Actually, no, this isn't even the fucking story. I'm sorry. I take that back. Unsubscribe from me just because I just said that. I'm kidding. But anyway, so this is one day he messaged me in the morning at like 8 or like 9 a.m. And I'm just opening my eyes and wiping away the shit out of the corner of it. And I'm just like looking at my phone like, did he actually just message me at this time? Like this was when like I started talking to him right when my hoe phase started. So it was like I was talking to like a few guys at a time, but like none of them, I had never received a morning text. Like, I always get my text at night. Like, literally, like, after 7 is when my phone starts getting wet, bitch. Like, just soaking like a goddamn, like, that's how my phone is, late at night. So, when I got that morning text, I was like, damn, like, I feel so fucking special. Like, he just messaged me in the morning. And I opened the message, and then it's like, can I come over? And I was like, well, how's that gonna work? Like, you don't have a car. Like, I'm laying in bed like, oh, I don't think that's a thing because you don't have a car, boo. Like, I'm not saying that I don't want to hang out with you, but you have a car and you live kind of far. So he's like, oh, yeah, I know. I was thinking maybe you could come pick me up. So I'm like, oh, what? So he asked me to come pick him up. He's like, I'll give you gas money. I just want to see you, blah, blah. So I hop in my car because I'm a thirsty ass, do anything for the dick ass bitch. And I drive my ass 20 minutes to his house, pick him up in his ghetto ass, sketchy ass, nasty ass neighborhood. He hops in my car. We drive 20 minutes back to my house, and then we hook up. Because I was a slave for the dick. Still am a slave for the dick and always will be a slave for the dick. But we finished hooking up, and his phone's on the floor, and for some reason, my sex has ended up with me on the floor and him on my bed. And I'm looking at his phone, and there's 14 missed calls. There were 14 missed calls on this boy's phone, and I'm looking, and I was like, somebody is blowing up your phone. Like, I was like, not to sound like your wife, but somebody's blowing up your phone, and I want to know who it is. Like, who's calling you? Because everyone that you need to talk to is right here. So I don't know why your phone's ringing. So then he gets up, picks up his phone, and he's like, I don't know why my phone's ringing. And I was like, okay. So then he excuses himself from my room and walks to my, like, other side of my house where my guest room is. And I'm like, low-key trying to eavesdrop, but like pretend like I'm doing something in the background. And he's like on the phone, and he's like arguing with somebody, and like they're arguing and they're going back and forth and blah blah blah. And then he's like, okay, I'll be right there. And then I'm like sitting there, I'm like, oh no, like what's happening? Like what's going on? And he's like, I need you to take me back home because this girl that I hooked up with recently is saying that she's pregnant. He's saying that this girl is pregnant and that she is trying to put the baby on him and that it's not his baby. He is swearing to me up and down, it's not my baby. I didn't hook up with this girl. We didn't, blah, blah, blah. Even though he said that they hooked up, but he's like, we didn't really have sex. And I'm like, okay. Like, I'm just like, whatever. Like, that's your business. This is literally why I don't talk to people from the town that he lives in. Because the town that he lives in is just not the town that you want to find your husband in. I'm kidding, but like, he just lived in a really bad part of town, and I didn't have any business over there anyway, so it was just a sign that I had no business over there. Facts. So I drive him there, and I drop him off, and I hear from him like, later in the day. He's like, everything's cool, and I'm like, okay, like, are you like a dad now? Like, what's the deal? And he's like, no, like, she's fine. Like, I explained to her and we talked about it. And she's okay. Like, she's going to leave it alone. And I was like, all right, cool. So then this happened on a Friday. He invites me to a party on Saturday. And this is where the story actually starts at 10:28. So, he invited me to this party, and it was in an apartment in his like complex where he lived, because he lived in an apartment complex. So I go by myself because I'm not trying to bring anybody. Like, it was more of a drive by than a like come and like get fucked up type of thing. So I went and I was like looking really fucking cute. Not gonna lie, like I was looking quite quite the snack bitch, like quite the lunchable, you know. Quite the go-gurt, if you will. Like a go-gurt, like those yogurt. Like a Capri Sun. Anyway, so I'm in the party and I'm just like standing there. I'm talking to him and he's like, you know, kind of mingling. I'm on my phone, like minding my business. He then pulls me into a room. We hook up at this party. I'm like, in a way, I shouldn't have done that. But then also, like I said, I'm a slave for the dick. He pulled me in that room. I was like, all right, okay. Like, I'm not going to say no to some good dick. Like, no. So we have sex. And he leaves the room first. And he's like out there, like, you know, he's like, okay, I'm going to go back out here. I'll see you out here in a minute. I'll let you get dressed. I'm, you know, fixing myself, getting, you know, fuck, I keep doing this. But like, I fix myself and I'm all ready to go. I go out and I'm in the kitchen because I'm like, okay, I'm going to just make like, you know, like a soda or like just get something to drink because my throat is dry. My mouth is dry. I had been smoking. Like, that's clear. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm always high. And this night I was definitely high as fuck. So I hadn't been drinking, but I was definitely high. And there was definitely a blunt out on the porch. And I was definitely sucking on that shit easily. It was out there. So, anyway, back to me in the kitchen. I'm standing in the kitchen and I'm literally pouring, like, I have ice in a cup and I'm pouring some soda in. And I get a tap on my shoulder. And I turn around and then this girl is like, oh fuck, what am I gonna call him? We'll call him Bob. we'll, we'll call him Bob. Okay. So she comes up to me and she goes, how do you know Bob? And that's what she did. She's like, because well, her hair was like here and she flipped it. But anyway, so she's like, how do you know Bob? And I was like, oh, you know, we're just like friends from around. I know him from just like, you know, people, like, you know, mutual friends. Like, trying to not just put our business out, like, oh, like, you know, like trying to just keep it discreet. And then she's like, oh, okay, well, I'm just letting you know that you should be careful. And then I'm like, well, what do you mean? Like, I'm like trying to like get the tea. I'm like, well, what do you mean, sis? Like, be careful. Like, what do you mean? And then she said, well, his girlfriend is here and she knows that you're here. And I was like, what? What? So then she's like, yeah, like she's pregnant and like that's his baby. And she knows that you guys were together the other day and she's not happy. And I was like, oh. Oh. So I'm just looking at her like, okay, like ready to take my ass whooping as I'm standing here with my cup and I'm like hearing this shit. I'm like ready to just like take this ass whooping. I'm like, okay, like I deserve this. Like that's fine. Like, let's go. So the girl walks in the kitchen and I look at her dead in her face and then she's like, so how do you know Thomas? Fuck! I'll bleep that out later. Fuck. Fuck. Anyway, so I was like, well, I like know him from around. Like, I guess you now know that we hooked up the other day, and I guess you might as well know that we've just got done hooking up I literally just like snitched on myself because I was like, damn, like low key, like I can't even be mad because like this girl just came up to me and it's not like I knew that they were dating, but I knew that her and him, there was something going on, and I knew I shouldn't have hooked up with him at this party. But I did kind of like snap at her a little bit, and I was like, well, low key, we just got done hooking up in the room. So like, what? And then she's like, well, if you want him, you can have him, but I'm just gonna say that you need to be careful. And I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, because you see what I'm doing, what I'm dealing with right now, and you don't want to end up in my predicament. And I'm just like, well, I play safe. So I'm not going to end up in your predicament because I know how to close my legs. And I said that and then walked away because I felt like that conversation needed to end. So then the girl is like, for the rest of the party, I'm standing there literally by myself, and they're like kind of like the only couple girls there. And there's a few other ones there, but they're all kind of like, they all know each other and I don't know them. So I'm just sitting there minding my fucking business, and I see out of the corner of my eye that they're doing all this shit. And then I'm just like, I'm gonna leave. Because you just know, like, I'm not gonna fight her because she's fucking pregnant. And she's pregnant, one. Ghetto as fuck, two. Not that her being ghetto as fuck stopped me from whipping her ass, but she's fucking pregnant. And then there's also like 3 other girls there that are clearly friends with her. So that was obviously gonna be me against all of these bitches. Not saying that I wouldn't beat ass, but I'm not about to be out here fighting a pregnant girl and her dumbass friends in front of all these boys in this party while I'm high as fuck. Like, I'm leaving. Like, I got the last blunt because I was like, I'm not gonna leave until after one more blunt. So I got on that last blunt fast as fuck. And then I'm standing on the porch and all these guys are making me uncomfortable. So I'm like, I like take the blunt, take a fat ass hit and leave that fucking party. And I just stop. And like, even now, to this day, 2 years later, he's still on my phone, trying to hook up with me, trying to talk to me. Over it. Okay, but if you guys like that story time, please click the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you really liked it, and like thumbs up for more story times. Comment down below what you guys would have done. Like, would you have fought that bitch? Like, would you have like just like said fuck it and like went over there and started some shit? Or would you have left and just like called it a night? Like, let me know what you would have done in the comments down below. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye.